This is the item for sale. It's the DMX 2-channel telephone ringer for theatre or show productions. The items on the table are what's on sale. So you've got a power supply unit for the device, and you've also got two converter leads if you want that convert DMX 3 to 5 pin in and out. And there's also an extension cable here for a regular telephone line. The items not for sale obviously include the NTEC box, the phone and the laptop, just for clarification. The ringer works just fine. As you can see here, it's receiving DMX data. The dips are set to channel 1 on the back, and if we just send channel 1 a signal, you can see there it's ringing into phone 1, which is coming through to phone 1 on the network. Now we can stop this by simply pressing stop. That cuts the signal regardless of whether or not the DMX signal is still coming in or not. We can also just pick up the receiver and it will do the same thing. So let's try that again. This time trigger it from the box itself. So your cues will work just like they should in real life. Obviously putting the phone back onto the cradle doesn't reset the phone. It won't start ringing again even if you still have the DMX channel up. There's two inputs for this device. You can have two phones on stage if you want. Just to show that the second input is working fine, I'll just swap them over. There we go. This time it'll be telephone 2. Just the same. One interesting thing about this box is that it has a ringtone choice for USA and UK. It's set to USA at the moment, and it sounds just fine, as you've heard. Interestingly, the UK one sends a sort of 2-ring pulse, and I've not had it work successfully with this phone. I'll show you why. It'll ring once and then it won't ring the second time, and then it might the time after that. So there's no consistency to the pulse, and I think it has to do with the resistor in this phone. But I'll show you now. So there should have been a second ring just after that, and again likewise. I mean, if you're happy with just one ring, then that will work fine for a UK phone. If you have this same model, it should really sound like this. It should be a double sound there. Ah, there you go. See, it did it once then. I sort of attempted it then, and then it failed then. It's nothing to do with the device as far as I can tell. As I say, it's to do with this model of phone. But it's worth knowing if you've got this same GPO phone in your set. One thing about the device that I've shown in the photographs, it's missing a foot on the bottom. I don't know when this happened. I've only had it for one show, and then it went back into storage, so it's obviously fallen off at somewhere on the line. One of the feet isn't particularly well stuck on, so I imagine they're just glued on. It's fallen off somewhere, but just worth noting in case anyone wonders. The power supply isn't the most solid connection in the world. It's just a sort of coaxial barrel cable input here, which has a bit of wobble to it. It doesn't seem to be affecting the power at any point here, and you still do have to sort of tug it to get it out to power off the device completely. And there is a sort of solidity to it as it pops in. But it's worth noting in case you want to lash this cable somewhere more safely round for production. The dip switches is perfectly easy to use. Again, likewise on the build, when I received it, the way it's been glued looks like it sort of had a knock or something like that. Don't know if you can see there, but it looks like the box is sort of slightly coming up on the left hand side. That's just the way it came. And likewise, all the rest of the stickers have a sort of slightly Heath Robinson thrown together appearance, but they don't seem to do anything to affect the otherwise very rugged nature of the metal box, and the fact that it works just fine with most phones as well. The telephone that you can see here is for sale in another sale, but as I say, is not included in this one. Just one final point I did forget to mention in the previous video is that if the phone is left off the hook for any reason, or if it's even slightly not quite on the cradle, like sort of so, like that, then the phone will not ring, despite what you might do. Here you go. See there, we're sort of sending the signal, and we're getting nothing from the phone. Obviously that's because the circuit isn't complete, and the cradle does need to be down for it to work properly. So it's just worth noting, in case your actors don't quite replace the handle of the phone, it needs to ring in the later scene. It's obviously worth knowing that it won't happen at all unless that's solidly back on top of the cradle there, or whatever the cradle system is. If the circuit is broken, then it just won't ring regardless. Finally, here's a little demonstration with the extension there. So I'm just going to take out the phone's regular telephone cable. There we go. So that's I think there's about 5 meters of cable there, which means this can be hidden just off stage somewhere if you want, or in the wings, and it'll be out the way, rather than having the regular sort of length of telephone cable, which is generally quite short. So there you go, works just fine.